recording.
All right. All right. Well, it is August 26th, 2023. We're here at the 50th anniversary of the Gainesville Eight reunion. My name is Paul Ortiz. Donna, can you give us your full name?
My name is Donna Ing, and at the time of the trial, my name was Donna Bannister.
Thank you. And Donna, I wonder if you could talk with us today about the Gainesville Eight case, how you ended up getting involved.
Well, I was selected as a juror, so that's how I got involved. I don't know what went on behind the scenes with jury selection. You know how I happened to be chosen.
And as you're on the jury, how did you choose? Like every jury has to go through a process where they choose a jury foreman.
Yes.
How did that process work?
Well, we all got together and voted for who we thought would be the best foreperson for the job. And at the end, when the votes were tallied, Lois Hensel was the one with the most votes, and she won by one vote, and I was the runner-up. And I voted for her. If I had voted for myself, I would have been the foreperson, but I didn't. I was only 24 at the time, so I didn't think that I was ready for such a responsibility. I thought she had the gravitas to do the job, and she actually turned out to be the perfect person to do it.
Wow. As you were on the jury, do you remember like what that felt like, what your initial reaction was to being on that jury?
Well, I felt like it was an important case. I didn't feel like I was so important because I was just one of 12.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
What were the things you remember as a juror that most impressed you as the trial kind of began and as it unwound? What was kind of, I guess I'm asking you to help kind of take us back to what it was like to be a juror in the case.
Well, we were a sequestered jury. We stayed at a hotel on the corner of University and 13th Street. It was one of the bigger hotels in town at the time. And we had federal marshals who came down from New York to guard us and make sure we're transported in a timely fashion and everything. And so we kind of got to know them. They weren't really familiar, it seemed, with people who lived in the South, and they thought things like grits were funny, hysterical, just this cooked corn mush.
Yeah.
And the name grits, so they laughed about that. They also laughed at the way Southerners talk. Just people saying y'all, that always cracked them up.
Did you get a chance to get to know them a little better as time went on, or were they kind of separate?
Well, the juror, I really hung out with two of the jurors. That was Lois Hensel and Marianne Emerson. I still remember the names of some of the other jurors, but I didn't hang out with them.
With Lois and the other,
Marianne Emerson.
So had you known them before?
No, I didn't know anybody before.
Okay.
I didn't know the defendants or the lawyers or the jurors. I didn't know anybody before that.
Okay. Had you heard anything about the case before that, or was this kind of a new?
Well, I can't even remember if we got copies of the Gainesville Sun back then, but I was somewhat aware of it.
Yeah. As the trial, kind of proceeded, were there any memorable moments that for you, kind of listening to, the point counterpoint?
No, that's disappeared in the 50 years that have ensued. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about people getting together, first four, I can't remember if you were at the 40th
I was
reunion.
at the 40.
Wonderful. And now the 50th reunion. Why is it important to be doing this, do you think?
Why is it important? Well, it's kind of like the high school reunion.
Yeah.
You just go to see who's there and who remembers who and hear the stories. It's just fun.
Cool. And what does it mean to you after all these years to see Scott and other people? And
Well, obviously I like coming or I wouldn't be here. I would say that I recognized more people at the 40th. It seems like people have changed quite a bit in the last 10 years.
is this a kind of event, we think of like American history, like I teach American history, and I can't find anything about this case in any textbook. And so, insofar as I share with my students, I have to use this material. Is this something you think that younger people should be learning from?
I don't think they know anything about it. You talk to people about the Gainesville Eight now, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
They don't know. So preserving it is important.
Did being a juror on the case affect your kind of idea about what it meant to be a citizen, like what direction the country was going in? Or
Well, I guess at the time I was working at a savings and loan and on Main Street. I won't mention the name. When I was selected as a juror, they said that they would pay me my salary while I was gone. When I got back, they didn't want to. It was a very conservative place, and I don't think they liked the verdict. They said they don't remember saying that. Except for one person, one vice president spoke up and said he remembered. And that made all the difference. They paid me for that month.
wow. So it lasted a whole month.
It was a whole month.
Wow. Did you ever, and again, you can feel free to answer, or you don't have to answer the question, but do you remember anything about like the deliberations, like some of the process you went through and the jury went through, and thinking about?
Not in detail, not enough to, we didn't deliberate for a very long time.
Yeah. But the verdict did shock a lot of people. That I think, and some people expected that there would be a guilty verdict. But yeah.
If they had sat through the trial, I don't think they would have felt that way.
Right. Well, are there any other?
I mean, you have to be able to prove what you're saying, so.
Right. Yeah. Excellent point. Other questions that y'all? Anything else, Donna, you'd like to add? This has been really, really helpful.
Oh, well, I can't think of anything.
Okay. Do you mind if I asked you a couple follow-up questions just about how it feels for you to be here, like in Scott and Sherry's house for the reunion?
I feel comfortable being here.
Nice.
I didn't feel comfortable about doing the interview.
All right, sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's kind of awkward or anything. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and we'll give you information about the oral history program. We plan to put all the material together and give you a copy of the recording. And just we'll give you our contact information too.
Okay.
So if there's any questions you have or any concerns, just please feel free to contact us, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And